What's going on, Chiefs fans? Happy you chose to join us here on the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. My name is Jace Andrews, and today we're going to be answering your questions about Kansas City Chiefs news and rumors, trade targets, injuries, whatever you want. We're going to dive into it. And let's start with my guy, B Sports Analysis, who asks, what is your opinion on the Chiefs defense? In my opinion, they started out hot, but against New York and Minnesota, played not so great. But what do you think? I think they played overall well throughout the entirety of this season. And I'll tell you what, I think that basically this Chiefs team, I think they're top 5 defense in the NFL. I know that they didn't play amazing against Minnesota or amazing against the Jets, but I think first of all, Zach Wilson played great. Second of all, Minnesota is a pretty good offense, and you stopped them. And Justin Jefferson, that was going to be his last game now that he's on IR. We'll see how long he is on IR. But I think this Chiefs defense is top 5 in the NFL, if you had to ask me. All right, we got a $2 super chat from JJ Hackett. Shout out JJ, my guy. Should the Chiefs trade for Frank Clark? I think yes. I think so, because here's the thing. It's going to make Chris Jones happy. And I think if you make him happy, he stays with the Chiefs. Bingo, bango, more rings on Mahomes and Chris Jones and Travis Kelce and Andy Reid's fingers. All of Chiefs Kingdom getting more rings. Thank you, JJ. You're a real G, real one here on the Chiefs Report. And I think the Chiefs should trade for Frank Clark as long as it works out money-wise. Heck, you could probably even trade a player back to them to possibly free up cap space. Thank you again, JJ. Let's go to Boomer Miller's question where he says, should Kadarius Toney get traded? No, I'm off this trade. Originally at the beginning of the season, I said yes. I think he was not good. He did not look great. But this wide receiver depth is there, and I think that's what Kadarius Toney provides more or less on anything. It's depth. It's depth. Is he wide receiver 1? No, he's not wide receiver 1. But guess what? I think there is a place where you could find a wide receiver 1. You could trade him. You could do a lot of stuff. We don't know. Kadarius Toney should not be traded, though, Boomer. I don't think I'm off that train now. All right, we got another question here from Johnny Dubs. Long ways away, but who is a draft prospect you are looking at? Well, I think this can kind of bounce off the question we just had, as I think it's probably a receiver that I'm looking at. I think that's the one that I think would be the most sense. You went with the defensive player this year with FAU and Felix Uzoma, and this defense has been absolutely spectacular. I think you should draft a wide receiver. One actual mock I had the Chiefs taking Adonai Mitchell out of Texas, who has looked pretty dang good with Quinn Ewers as his quarterback. What if he could do really good with Patrick Mahomes as his quarterback? Plus Adonai, boy, oh boy, that's a Chiefs name right there. Also a cool name and a wide receiver name. He would fit well on the Chiefs' speed, athletic, size, and he's from Texas. We've seen some pretty good names from Texas go play on the Chiefs. I think he'd work out pretty well, but what do you think? You think the Chiefs should maybe possibly draft a wide receiver this upcoming offseason in the NFL draft? Type Y for yes if you think the Chiefs should, or type in for no if you think maybe not. I think there's other needs that need to be addressed before wide receiver, including if maybe the Chiefs win another Super Bowl this year. Knock on wood. That's the hope. Well, maybe they don't need a wide receiver. Maybe there's something else they need. Let me know. There's obviously offseason acquisitions, a lot of stuff to go on there, but what do you think? Type Y for yes. Type in for no on whether or not you think the Chiefs should draft a wide receiver. All right, Terry, your question coming in here. Appreciate you, Terry. Do you think the Chiefs will keep Clyde Edwards-Helaire or trade him out? I think they're going to keep him. I'm sorry. I think it's at this point, there's not much you're going to get back for him. And I don't know. Mahomes likes him. So in some ways, I think that's going to keep him close. It's tough because I think you could trade him. You'd free up cap space. I just don't know if it's going to happen. Again, though, the cap space could be freed up. Maybe you trade him away and just get a pick back. If you feel confident about McKinnon and Pacheco, yeah. You have P. Ryan in the practice squad. There's a lot of options you could do there. You could just trade him away and not get anything back. But if you're asking to trade him for something, you're not going to get much. Appreciate it, Terry. That's a good question. I wonder what will happen. Monk comes in with this question. Appreciate you. I think Rashee Rice will get 80-plus yards versus the Broncos. How many do you think he'll get? 80 is nice. I like that a lot because I think you're probably pretty close. I think that for me, Rashee, I want to see him catch a long ball. We've seen him do pretty well with the slant routes, especially close to the end zone. That's how he's gotten those 2 touchdowns on the board. But I want to see him overtake Justin Watson for the most yards from a Chiefs wide receiver. And if he gets 80, I think he can do that. But catch a deep ball. Give him a shot. Rashee's got speed, but boy, oh boy, he does have some drop problems. You're playing the Broncos. Give him a chance. Go out there and let the boy play out of SMU. I think that's probably pretty close. If I had to say, though, I'm going to say final stat line for him, 6 catches for 73 yards and a touchdown. That's my guess. Let's go to another question here. This one comes from Kyle Lawson. What happened to the shallow crossing run routes that were so effective last year? Well, here's the thing. I know that Andy Reid is calling the plays, but there is something to speak of with having Matt Nagy as your offensive coordinator. First of all, I think a reason why those were so effective was because of the talent you had. Juju was great at that. Mecole Hardman was great at that. Kadarius Toney is not that type of guy. Justin Watson is not that type of guy. Now, you do have Rashee Rice, who's running the slant routes that not exactly are the same, but they're trying to mimic that in some way or shape. I think that's probably why is, 1, you have Matt Nagy in, and 2, well, here's the thing. You don't have Hardman or Juju, who was the top 2 effective at that point for the Chiefs last year. Okay, let me know if you want the Chiefs to beat the Broncos, and the easy way to do that, liking today's video. It helps us out. It helps the Chiefs out. Give you a free time right here. Like the video. Come on. It helps us out, helps the Chiefs, and best of all, it makes sure the Chiefs will beat the Broncos in the game this upcoming Thursday night. Really appreciate you. Hit that like button. All right, before we head into more questions, let me tell you about Game Time. Game Time, well, it's the one app you need for any ticketing for sports, music, comedy, theater, any event in your area. Use Game Time. You shouldn't have to worry about buying tickets to your next big event. And with Game Time, they're going to give you the peace of mind when you go looking for those tickets. With their best price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. And Game Time, unlike other apps, is obsessed with finding ways to help you save on money, or save on tickets, rather. Game Time has zone deals where you pick the section, and then Game Time will get you seats with an average savings of 18%. Come on, you can't beat that. With their lowest price guarantee, event cancellation protection, that's just a couple of things that make this app so amazing. And the best thing? Well, they're very clear on their app. It's one of the easiest things to use in the entirety of ticketing buying. And I'm telling you one thing that I love, and I've said it again, the dang pictures are high quality. You go onto some of these apps and you look, and it looks like you're looking at a potato. Not with Game Time. You got clear, crisp, HD quality photos, along with a 360 view. I mean, just look at that picture of our head. You can't tell me that is not the cleanest photo you looked at when you go on ticketing apps. Their app is super simple. You can go through it top to bottom, and with 2 clicks, you can get your tickets super, super simple. And the best part of all, we have a special promo code for Chiefs Report watchers. As if you download Game Time and use the promo code ChiefsChat, you're going to get $20 off your first purchase. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code ChiefsChat for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and use code CHIEFSCHAT, altogether no spaces, ChiefsChat, for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets at the lowest price guarantee. Let's head back into questions here with Don Bowles coming in with saying, remember, this is a divisional game, and the Broncos always play the Chiefs well. I believe the Chiefs will win, but the Broncos will be up for the game. My score, 34-17. I can see that, Don. I can. And a lot of times, I think I would 100% be on top with you, just kind of saying, yeah, it's a divisional game. I think that, I got to be honest, it's going to be close. But this Broncos team is just so bad that I just can't put them getting any more than 10 points again, 13 points maybe. There's no way that this team, with Russell Wilson as their quarterback, especially if Javonte Williams can't go, there's just not a chance. Absolutely not a chance. I do agree, though, divisional games can get crazy, and the Chiefs are not known to blow teams out. That's why I think 34-13, 34-14, 15 area, I think that's about where the score will be. Appreciate your question, Don, though. All right, the next one comes in here from Nick Yates saying, we need a wide receiver one. No, not any depth pieces. Justin Jefferson. I hear you. I hear you, Nick. I know. Well, they need a wide receiver one. I agree. There's not depth pieces here. The problem is the cap space is not there for anybody of Justin Jefferson's nature, on top of which Justin Jefferson was put on IR. He ain't going to be playing for the next 4 weeks. And with the way the Vikings are playing, he may not play the entire rest of the year. He's still under contract technically next year with the Vikings, so they're not going to trade him away for chump change. At this point, I think to get Justin Jefferson, you would have to pay a king's ransom, which would mean probably multiple first-round picks and maybe even a player as well. I do agree that the Chiefs need a wide receiver one, but I don't know if it's going to happen this year with the cap space. I got to be honest. Let's go to the next question here from Tony Fuentes. He says, which wide receiver could step up? Like I said a week ago, I'm impressed on how they're doing, but who can step up? Well, again, I asked if Rashee Rice could step up. I think he did that last week. I think it's time for those two on the left to stand up. Kadarius Toney and Marquez Valdez-Scantling. It's time for you. Sky Moore, I think overall has done well for what he's been given. But Kadarius Toney and Marquez Valdez-Scantling, it's time for you to do something. It's time. I don't understand what you're waiting for. Y'all were wide receivers 1 and 2 at the beginning of the season, and yet y'all aren't even on the top 3 in terms of yardage. Get going, Kadarius. Get going, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And Kadarius, the reason that you aren't getting receptions and targets is because they dropped the dang ball the first game. But he's proven himself worthy the past couple games. Keep getting the ball to both those guys. Let them go. Let's go to another question, and this one will come in from Super Bowl 58 champions, or SB. I'm assuming that's Super Bowl because we know what's going on around here at Chiefs Kingdom. What trades do you truly think the Chiefs will make before the deadline? I don't know. I think it's tough because if you look at last year, which this team is eerily similar to, then they made 2 trades. And that was one to free up cap space and one that was getting Kadarius Toney. Now, is that going to be the same this year? I would say exactly so. I don't think that you are going to see a big trade be made by Brett Veach. You're going to be maybe dink and dunk trades, unless something falls in the lap. But Frank Clark, McCole Hardman, former Chiefs, both were good on the Chiefs, both in the trading block, both cheap. Wouldn't be surprised if you see that. But with McCole, it's just a lateral move. I don't know how much you're going to see. Chase Claypool was my original one, but with him going to the Dolphins, I don't know what you do now. I really don't. All right, well, if you made it to the end of the video, I want you to do something more. Comment real one at the comment section of today's video. I really appreciate it if you made it. It means the world to me when you make it to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. It means you're enjoying our content. Type real one so I know that you are a real one and that you are a part of the Chiefs Report family. Appreciate you. And that does it for today. We will see you tomorrow. Peace out, Chiefs Kingdom.